Welcome back to Rated Radio with your host, Rayburn Alexander, and myself, Shane Wyndham.
Hi.
Rayburn, what Billboard hit did we cover this time around?
This time around, we covered Romantic Homicide by David.
Yeah, I think it's supposed to be David, but it's totally D4VD, and all I see is 4 DVDs. That's what I see when I look at this.
But yeah, I think it's supposed to be David.
What'd you think?
This song makes me feel like I'm laying in bed staring into the eyes of a lover that I know will eventually hurt me. This song and its layers is short, sweet, and a tad disappointing. I keep wishing for longevity, but like that lover, alas, it is not meant to be. 4 stars.
You a 2-pump chump, homie.
Yep, looks like it.
Just so we're clear, if you're new here, we will be talking about The Weeknd and Usher momentarily.
Eventually.
Got to get through this intro for Billboard.
I love that you always say that,
Not
and we
sponsor.
keep doing it. You say that after the Billboard hit, but we keep doing it. Why?
The Billboard?
Yeah. The Billboard is a part of the ride, unapologetically. Shane.
No, I know. If you saw this episode title and you clicked in, you hear us talking about this random Billboard song, you might think we don't actually talk about these artists.
Oh, okay.
It's just like clickbait or something. I don't want people thinking
Maybe
that.
we should put it at the end of the episode.
Romantic Homicide.
Yeah.
By David.
David.
DeForvid. There it is.
DeForvid.
That's your name, homie. DeForvid. So... Honestly, I don't know what to think about this one. The instrumental grew on me to the point of listenability. It's darkly chill, and the lyrics also grew on me once the small initial shock factor wore off. I can even appreciate that the song didn't waste time pretending to have extra verses or a refrain, and cutting off so quickly it almost feels jarring. But I'm not crazy about the vocals, whether we're talking delivery or cadence. For all the potential here, the effort ends up coming across as low effort to me. There's enough meat here that I get why lots of listeners don't mind what's lacking. However, if I listen to this song at all going forward, it would only be in a background capacity. 4 stars.
Okay, I expected a way worse rating based off of what you said.
No, I mean, like I said, there's quite a bit of redeemable stuff here. Mm-hmm. And you know my 5s. They're kind of a baseline for, I dig this.
Yeah. Oh, so, okay. Got it, yeah. See, God, and I am so the opposite. I'm like, 3s are like, yeah, I dig this. But like, the higher you go, the 5s is like, I felt a genuine connection.
Well, in my head, I have a rating that goes all the way up to a 10.
I know.
So we're just kind of
I know.
Kicking shit here. Anyway, let's roll the intro.
Supposed to breathe with no air. That's a Chris Brown reference anyway.
Yeah, right over my head.
Mm-hmm. And you say you like music.
Anyway, I like good music.
I knew that was coming. I fucking knew that was coming. Let's talk about Usher.
So the first album we covered by Usher was My Way from 97. This was my middle album.
This was my top album.
Out of the 10 tracks, I gave 9 5s.
I gave 6 5s.
Top track, Slow Jam.
Top track, Bedtime.
Bottom track, Just Like Me.
Same.
Sucks. I wanted the perfect rating for the album.
Yep.
Between the NSYNC-inspired and youthful hip-hop production of Jermaine Dupri and the more classical 90s R&B stylings of Babyface, this disc isn't going to be for everyone in all places. The samples are middling, and the extended edition of You Make Me Wanna is completely unnecessary. Still, the effort manages to be fun and fully listenable, proof that Usher's star power would be hard to hide.
Usher's second album really debuts that classic romantic R&B sound of the 90s that he is well known for. Usher's sultry vocals hit all the right notes, but where it lacks is in the duets and accompanying artists. While Monica is a match made in heaven, Lil' Kim leaves much to be desired. But understand that is a personal preference and does not speak on how sexy this album can be. Another thing I want to note is he actually samples No Diggity in Come Back. It's that No Diggity beat sample. So give it a listen again. And Today Was a Good Day sample is on One Day You'll Be Mine. So yeah.
Wasn't California Love one of the samples here? Or am I?
Maybe I didn't catch that one. It very well could have been, but it didn't stand out to me as much as the other two I listed.
Confessions from 2004 is our next album. This was my top.
This was my middle album.
Out of the 17 tracks, I gave 13 5s.
I gave 6 5s.
Top track, I apologize in advance here. I can't choose between Throwback, Burn, Can You Handle It, and Do It To Me.
My top track is Do It To Me. I want to be you, touch my body, baby. So good. Always will be.
It was in there for me. What do you want?
Nothing. I did that for me, not you.
My bottom track was the Superstar interlude.
And my bottom track was Take Your Hand.
Confessions is a very solid spin and more representative of Usher as an artist, as well as more cohesive than My Way. Personal drawbacks for me include the poppy moments and how most melodies don't change at the chorus. While that highlights how talented a vocalist Raymond is, it also hurts the listening longevity. To be fair to Jermaine Dupri, I think his contributions here show a lot of skill and growth, mostly a great LP.
While this is a bit more produced and higher quality, Usher's pop R&B direction is a promising one. Usher's almost autobiographical lyrics offer more than sultry vibes. It adds heartbreak in realizing the repercussions of his actions. Chili. Girl, you're with Matthew Lawrence now. It's going to be all right.
TLC on me now. I was like, what the fuck are you staring at me talking about chili?
Chili.
Like, bitch, somebody cooking?
I'm cold. Can you turn up the heat?
I called you bitch again. I'm sorry.
You better fucking apologize. How dare you?
I call anybody
I
bitch.
know. But it's like a running gag. I didn't mean to call you bitch. Anyway, in realizing the repercussions of his actions, harmonies are pleasant as always. The only nitpick is it could have been a lot shorter by leaving a few tracks for B-side material.
Fair.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
Mm-hmm.
Raymond versus Raymond from 2010. That's our last album.
Mm-hmm.
And this was my bottom.
Okay, thank fucking God, because I wasn't following. I thought Shane is going to come in here and he's gonna pull was it Gaga? He's gonna pull a Gaga on me. He's gonna no, Britney. He's gonna love the
Lady Gaga.
The later stuff. He's gonna love the later stuff and hate the early stuff.
Oh, because of the club vibes?
Yes. This was my bottom album as well.
Out of the 14 tracks, I did give 8 5s.
I gave 4 5s.
My top track, There Goes My Baby.
That is good. But Pro Lover surprised me.
Pro Lover's good.
So
I got a 5 from me.
Mm-hmm.
There was one toward the end, too, that I wasn't familiar with. I can't think of the name off the top of my head. But damn, there are a few on here that just...
The second
wow.
from the last, I gave a 5. So I'm wondering if that's the same one.
Bottom track, OMG.
Oh my God. No, what is it?
Gosh.
Is it Gosh? That is stupid. Why?
Boobies like pow, pow.
Honey got me stupid like... Anyway. My bottom track is So Many Girls.
That's my jam. That's my jam.
I figured it would be.
The through line of this album is club pop, and it's a fairly radical departure from most of what we've covered so far. It starts out sounding like an experimental mess is to be expected, almost like some Prince we've covered, you know?
Okay. Oh, rude.
I love Prince, but then swerves in and out of dance floor anthems, and more of what you know and probably love from the artist. The mix can get too busy and loud, and the lyrics can lean cheesy, but I really dig more than half of this, and continue to appreciate the dude's honesty about his actions and desires.
While I agree this is more club-oriented Usher, you can tell he has found a little bit more star power. The music is confident, large. Sexy is definitely still his niche, but it does not invoke the same passion as past albums. With so many layers, one has to wonder, did we lose a little Usher here? You be the judge.
Excuse me, I said it wrong earlier. It's honey got some boobies like wow, oh wow. Because it was, she got a booty like pow, pow, pow.
Pow, 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 yeah.
Honey got some boobies like wow, oh wow.
Oh my gosh.
He didn't write that song, by the way. He writes the majority of his music. That was all Will.i.am.
I still cannot, yes it was. I still cannot believe it's oh my gosh. Why is it oh my gosh? I guess we're religious.
I could speculate.
Anyway.
Usher's music makes me feel like I'm hearing a DJ spin club and pop on top of 90s hip-hop and R&B, which I'm not mad at.
Music makes me feel like I'm riding in the back of my mom's GMC Vendura. That's mainly that first album.
I got you.
I almost made a joke and wrote it down. I'm still going to say it, but I almost said, the music makes me want to...
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
That's all right.
Anyway.
You do you. I like it my way. If we're gonna be
Isn't that
cheesy,
one of his songs? My
Yeah.
way? Okay, good. I got it.
Wow.
Yes, I got it. I caught it as it was passing
You're
by.
just making it worse and worse.
know.
It's so bad.
I know.
Do you have anything to add here?
Yes, a couple of facts about Usher. He is a Texas native, born in Dallas, Texas, but raised in Tennessee. He started singing in church, like most do. After his Star Search win, he actually moved in with P. Diddy for a short period of time. His mom is, in fact, his manager, and he has his own record label. He discovered Justin Bieber, so we have that to thank him for, I guess. And he was actually the reason that T-Pain quit music.
Really?
Yes. T-Pain was actually friends with... I watched an autobiography. Anyway, T-Pain actually was friends with Usher. They were on a plane, and somebody came up to T-Pain early in T-Pain's career, and they said, hey, Usher wants to see you in the back. So he went to the back, and out of nowhere, Usher said, hey, you kind of fucked up music for everybody. Because T-Pain really was kind of the one that popularized autotune. So it made anybody that could sing even remotely decent or not decent at all be able to make money off of, the music industry. And that really fucked T-Pain up. And so he's like, did I fuck up music? Did I fuck up the industry? So he actually quit making music because he thought he damaged it. So he removed himself rather than, the alternative. So
that's harsh.
Yeah, but he's back and he's
artists
thriving.
out there got to start being nicer to each other.
Yeah.
It almost makes me not want to say what I'm about to say.
Okay.
Usher is simultaneously a one-man boy band and the evolution of R. Kelly's signature sound, to the point that I feel like most of what Kelly did once Usher arrived was adopt said evolution. He paved the way for artists like Drake as well, and in a world where we're apparently treating Drake like he holds a candle to MJ, I can say that Usher, unlike Drake, tends to pack his discs full of worthwhile material. So long as you aren't turned off by pop frills, Usher is very much worth a deep dive.
Even if he did hurt T-Pain's feelings.
Yeah, you was wrong for that, my dude.
Yeah, that's not nice.
That's not nice, but we forgive you. I guess you gave us Bieber.
You gave us Bieber.
Can't even say
all
it.
is redeemed. You gave us Baby.
What's the one I listen to all the time? No Pressure. No Pressure is actually a Justin Bieber song that comes on.
Was that one of his later ones, though?
Yeah.
Okay.
It totally reminds me of the reasons why I like a lot of New Kids on the Block or whatnot. Like
Sorry.
Not those songs. I'm talking like the R&B,
Okay,
like Please
okay.
Don't Go Girl type stuff. Anyway, let's take a break.
Yeah. So
we were actually watching New Kids videos before you got here, by the way.
Really?
Oh. Yeah.
So, my sister recently told me about a music station that I hadn't been listening to. It's 105.7.
Who listens to music stations?
I usually don't, but this music station is good. Oddly enough, it's hosted by Steve Harvey in the mornings. Anyway, it's smooth R&B, 105.7, and I cannot tell you the amount of times I have heard Tenderoni on the way to work in the past 2 weeks. But not only that, they have such a great R&B selection. Like it's like late 80s, early 90s, early 2000s R&B, just like that spectrum of R&B music. It is so good. I'm pretty sure it's my new favorite station.
I was so pissed off, by the way. I told your sister that I was doing this, but I stole, which, I mean, it's not like she made it or anything, but the Goofy movie, you know talking? Max on stage.
Max and Roxanne. Yeah.
And had it as my background whenever I put that fake AI picture up. Mm-hmm. And I changed the song on my Facebook profile to Roni. But I was so mad because when you try to listen to what they've cut from Roni, it's like the worst part of the song.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Which I hate.
Yeah.
Like you should be able to like choose your little section. Anyway, the song list I have for us here before we go talk about the Weeknd is songs from underrated albums.
Yes.
And I'm pretty sure my list is gargantuan.
Well, save it and we'll only talk about one today.
Yeah, if you enjoy the music list that I've created there, go buy the journal for the Rated Radio podcast.
Yep.
Have you even seen that book yet?
I haven't seen it physically. You sent me a picture of the layout, but yeah, is that big behemoth motherfucker behind you? Look at it. It's so pretty.
Yeah.
I like it. I open it and immediately go to Greta Van
Greta Van
Fleet.
Fleet. Yep, that's you. So anyway, tell us your story, Raven, from your list of songs from underrated albums.
Mine is Time Stands Still from the All American Rejects album. Yet another contribution from my geriatric co-host. This album came at a turning point at a very emotional time in my life. My father had just moved out due to marital struggles far beyond my understanding. I now understand that separation was indeed necessary, but I also felt that this album as a whole was vastly underrated. Not only this track, but many others, such as Paper Heart, Why Worry, One More Sad Song, Swing Swing, and many more. I never understood why others didn't jump on board until their Move Along album. Who knows? But because of this album and many others like it, I began to find my own emotions through music and used it as an avenue to express myself. And from then on, life would never be the same.
Yeah, that album's fucking amazing.
Yep. You put it in my first set of CDs. You burned it for me in that denim CD case that you gave me. But yeah, thanks. It got me through some stuff.
You're welcome. You could tell I wrote this in the past because I can already see some stuff that kind of ruins what we had working here. Anyway, song I went with was Back to a Reason by Sabotage. This one's interesting to me because my wife and I both knew different versions of the song when we first got together. I was a Sabotage fan who never paid much mind to Trans-Siberian Orchestra, and she was the opposite. Before long, we were listening to Sabotage albums together and going to TSO concerts. So this song is just another example of the ironic remnants of that former life we're left with once we level up our happiness factor. And the neatest part of being able to look back at how far you've come since you were little more than those remnants has to be recognition of how something worthwhile is almost certainly around every turn we've yet to take. I'd also like to add that this playlist in particular highlights a lot of what you'll find in the now released music book designated specifically for the audience of this podcast. Be sure to check my website or Instagram. You'll be rewarded with something just for you in time for the holidays. That would be the Rated Radio Podcast Journal.
Wow, we talked about it even before you mentioned it. Got it.
I had to reword some of that because it was written in a future tense.
So nice. We got to talk about it twice. By the Rated Radio Podcast Journal.
For sure. It's a beautiful thing, by the way. It looks not simple when you open it, but it looks like it might be repetitive. I promise you it's not.
The page layout is...
Yes. It's
similar.
staggered. You'll still be hitting new types of content more than 100 pages in. This thing is over 300 pages.
Yeah, if you want a small fraction of what we do for the podcast, buy that book.
It will also give you the opportunity to create the playlists we've created on the show, to listen to and rate the Billboard hits we've covered. You get to make your own of just about everything we do.
No need to rate it all.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a big project for anybody, but pick your favorites.
Yeah.
Pick the bands you like. And
jump around.
Give
House of Pain.
Do you know, I just told Dad the other day that the guy from Everclear, the lead singer from Everclear, is from House of Pain.
Is he really?
Yes. He had no idea. He was like, you're
didn't know
joking.
that.
I said, 100% not lying. He was like, wow. I said, see, I can still teach you something.
Man. All right. Well, let's go talk about the weekend. Are you ready?
I'm always ready for the weekend.
Okay. I hate when I do that shit, by the way.
What?
Like, you're building and trying to make this interesting. Like, yeah, this is going to be the shit. And all I say in response to something is, okay. Okay. You know that bridge thing?
Okay.
Okay.
Hi.
So we haven't talked about this yet, but Usher was not in our jam jar. It means no listener has submitted Usher as one of their top 10 artists. The Weeknd is in there twice.
Ooh. So we already have a little bit of a bias from our listeners.
Yes. And in all honesty, I think when I imagined this episode, and you might be right there on board with me, I imagined that my wife would be here as well.
Yes.
She put The Weeknd in the jam jar.
Yes, she did.
And
we got tired of waiting on her. Let's just be real. We just want to talk about The Weeknd.
Harsh.
Love you. Love you.
Listener Sarah also put The Weeknd in the jam jar. And that comes as no surprise to me because I know her. Awesome. Sure, plenty of other people would have put The Weeknd in the fucking jam jar. That having been said, let's talk about this.
I don't think we need an excuse to want to talk about The Weeknd. I think we have also tried to talk about The Weeknd in past episodes. So now we're just giving Abel his due, you know?
Yeah, even like Lyndon, you know, Banner Bar.
Yeah.
I've even seen takes from him talking about how The Weeknd's listenability is so much greater than Michael Jackson's. For instance, like he's gone to bat with this argument. Like, and I respect it because it's definitely a take that some people are going to have trouble with. But I think those people probably just have not listened to this artist.
But also when you think about it, Michael Jackson's discography is much more vast. So maybe if time progresses a little bit more, we may change our opinion on that. But
can we get the obvious out of the way, by the way?
What?
Did Usher win for you?
Shane, can we wait?
No.
I love Usher, but no.
Okay, same. So it's going to be The Weeknd for both of us. Now, I don't
think we've ever done this before.
No, we haven't. I don't want to hang it out there. I want to talk about where we differ in regards to this dude's sound and whatnot. So anyway, first album we covered, Beauty Behind the Madness from 2015. This was my middle album.
This was also my middle album.
Out of the 14 tracks, 14 fives. All right, Blue. Appreciate you. You?
7 fives.
All right, respectable.
Mm-hmm. Oh, damn sure respectable for me. I mean,
that's what I'm saying.
That's quite a bit.
My top track was a toss-up between Often and Acquainted.
Often is so good. But I went with Tell Your Friends and...
Codes would be so proud.
Would he?
Yes. Maybe I'm not going to overshare his stories. Let's just say that sometime in the past few years, one of my good friends who's been going through some stuff, wrote me to say, man, I can't stop listening to this song. It was Tell Your Friends.
Oh, okay, cool. Honorable mention would be Earned It. I think Earned It got everyone's attention, but Often, I knew that would be yours because what's the line? When they say...
What is the line?
I give it to you something you say often. I make that pussy rain, say it often.
Okay.
Anyway, I just...
Baby, I can make that pussy rain? Is that...
It seems like your vibe.
Okay.
It seems like your total vibe.
It totally is.
I totally know that.
I want to add, by the way, that Earned It, there's a way to hear that song where it's initially off-putting. Like there's a version that doesn't start out like
it's how the song starts.
Yeah, because it could start with like that. It could start right there, and I've been off-put by that. I like the version that's here that starts out with like the soft orchestral beginning and then moves to it. Yeah,
and then it jumps into that. Yes. Yeah, they cut the slow singing into it for radio purposes.
Right.
It just pops into the downbeat.
Yeah.
I can take it either way. I'm going to hell.
Jeez.
Bottom track.
Oh, bottom track.
There's some negative here.
My bad.
Let's talk about it.
My bottom track does not exist.
Okay, maybe they're not negative for you. Angel.
Okay.
So, all right. Continue.
You know, I mean, I kind of get it.
Well, it's a perfect rating for you, so.
It's the closest thing to generic, I guess, you get here. Is that maybe what it is?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm expecting some more things to say in upcoming albums. I have an idea of what you put at your top.
If Sade and Michael Jackson had a love child, Abel Tesfaye would be that child. This album takes roughly 30 years of R&B breakthrough sounds and condenses them into an explicitly oversexed and overdrugged package, which loads most of its less family-friendly material toward the first half of the disc. Some of the fives aren't things I'm always in the mood for, but this is a must-hear album nonetheless.
Armed with slow and mellow erotic vocals and a sick backing track that is a balanced mix of techno, trap, R&B, and pop, The Weeknd explodes out of the gate with this one. Granted, his success does accompany the popularity of 50 Shades of Grey, but make no mistake, that just got our attention. He and his completely different style has locked us in big time.
I just want to point out I knew about this artist before 50 Shades of Grey, so...
Wow.
No, I don't mean that in like a
condescending way.
Yeah. Or like an I'm holier than that way. I just meant like
you're pushing up your glasses.
I don't know shit about 50 Shades of Grey is what I'm saying.
I mean, I've never seen it either, but I do know that the masses weren't raising eyebrows until Earned It came out from that soundtrack.
Next album we covered is Starboy from 2016. This was my top album.
This was my middle album.
Out of the 18 tracks, I gave 17 fives.
I assumed wrong.
Mhm.
Okay. I gave 6 5s.
Top track is Nothing Without You. It's a very hard pick, by the way.
My top track is I Feel It Coming. Yep.
Somebody been with her man for a long time, huh? That's the Daft Punk track.
Oh,
right, there's 2 of them here.
I can appreciate Daft Punk without being...
It's 2 of them, but...
Yes, there's 2. But yes, it is the more well-known Daft Punk collaboration, yes.
My bottom track and the only flaw in this album for me is the Stargirl interlude.
Rockin' is my bottom track.
You and Megan with that take, I don't get it.
So she's on the same page as me?
Yeah.
Okay. I feel validated. That's all I needed.
I guess you should feel validated. I don't understand at all.
You typically don't.
That shit smooth reminds me of like one of the best Michael Jackson songs ever. I don't know.
Rock With You?
No, not like it is a Michael Jackson song. I'm saying like it.
Oh, the vibe.
It has a vibe.
Okay, got it.
I've not been shy about saying this is one of my Desert Island albums. It's everything great about Beauty Behind the Madness, but with EDM flair and flawless mixing. The only misstep here is the Lana Del Rey interlude. Otherwise, it's an aggressively progressive R&B effort, which also manages throwbacks to the days of MJ's Off the Wall album. Dance to it, fuck to it, do drugs and cry to it. However you listen, just let this one play.
For so long. Anyway.
I turned that fucking video on for the kids recently because I thought, like, in my head, I'm thinking, oh, that's an action video. They're going to be totally into this. Did not realize how brutal it was.
Yeah.
Because I'm an adult and I don't think about it when I watch, but it was like, okay, turn that off.
Before I get into what I thought about Starboy, what did you think about the Secrets cover that was originally done by the Romantics?
Didn't know it was a cover.
I hear the secrets that you keep when you're talking in your sleep. You didn't catch that?
Mm-mm.
Yeah, he puts it in the chorus, the secrets that you keep when you're talking in your sleep. Yeah.
I don't know.
Okay.
I love the song.
Oh, that's fine.
I've not heard the Romantics version of that.
Yes, you have. Anyway, with this direction, The Weeknd is really narrowing his focus on the electronic rap style. I mean, Daft Punk did feature on several songs on this album. In addition to Kendrick Lamar, Future, Lana Del Rey, this album is centered around getting the masses on the dance floor. And while it is a good groove, I miss the smolder of the last album.
Hot takes.
Hot takes.
After Hours was our final album. I hate saying it that way, but we will eventually cover the rest of them. That's why you need to keep tuning into the finales, because goddamn do we have fun. This was my bottom album. 2020, After Hours, bottom album.
This is my top album.
Out of the 14 tracks, 14 5s.
I gave 9 5s.
Oh, I was hoping to say it somewhere on the weekend. My top track was Heartless.
So good. Top track was Scared to Live.
Bottom track, Snow Child.
Are you fucking kidding me? That song reminds me of you.
Yeah, and I've heard you say it multiple times.
Every time I hear that song.
I have no idea why. I mean, lyrically, I guess some of it makes sense.
Lyrically, yes. Like that broke-ass kid walking through the trailer park sort of situation. But at the same time, it has that mellow R&B sound that reminds me a lot of you too. Like, there are certain people in this world that I think can vibe with me on like an R&B, a funk level, things like that. And you're one of those people. My brother is also one of those people for me. So just the vibe that the song puts off.
Unless it's Al Green, right?
Unless it's Al Green, but that's... we're not talking about it.
I still gave this song a 5, to be clear.
Okay. Escape from LA was my bottom track.
Okay.
So
that one I thought was weird when I first heard it. It's really grown on me. I love listening to that song now.
Maybe it needs to grow on me.
Yeah, maybe.
The real crime is I only own one Weeknd album, and it is not After Hours, Starboy, or Beauty Behind the Madness. So if you're looking to get me a Christmas present, you know. Anyway.
Oh, you're coming at me right now.
Yeah. I mean, you get me gifts anyway.
I thought you were talking to the world.
I'll take it.
Trying to process. Why is she talking about people getting her Christmas? God damn it. She's telling me to buy her fucking Weeknd.
Or you can
LPs.
buy her book.
While I suspect my co-host would have preferred the 80s devotional sounds of the Dawn FM album here, it's the loose themes of horror and sci-fi which keep this one at the forefront of my mind as a conversation piece. About half of it is among the least accessible of his tracks, so not all fives carry the same weight. Effects sometimes muddy his vocals. Mix-wise, it just sort of fades in and out instead of slapping you with bangers. And portions of the lyrics are too personal for relatability, but the winners here are the fireworks you save for a finale, which makes this risk-taking a listenable treasure.
Hot takes.
It's cold takes.
It's cold takes.
It's cold takes.
It's cold-ass takes. The Weeknd really starts his experimentation with 80s synth here, which we hear more of in later sounds, aka Dawn FM, which is a concept album, not for everybody. And
what's the concept, Raymond? Do you know?
Driving in the desert with the top down in the 80s. That's the concept.
You know what I saw?
What?
Because he's old, right?
Yeah.
The notion is he time traveled to the 80s in order to make an 80s album, but he didn't make his 80s album until he'd lived from the 80s until the time it was released. So he's aged that entire time.
So he went back in time, stayed, and aged into our time.
Became an old man just to make this disc for us, yes.
Love that. Also a bonus, Jim Carrey narrates it. It's amazing. Anyway.
I'm going to save my opinion.
Yeah, you do that. Like I said, his layering of sounds continues to amaze me, and his ability to tell a story throughout his music continues to entertain. His music is very cinematic, which, as with False Alarm in the Starboy album, and if you watch any of his videos, extremely cinematic. I'm going to be honest, if you're not a person that likes mellow beats with an echo sound, this isn't for you. But luckily, we just fucking built different.
I'm built different.
I'm built different.
Just like your boy Sponge. That's a great song.
Oh my fucking God.
All right. Music videos. I got a top 3 music videos for this artist.
I can pull some out of my ass if you want me to.
It's a lovely visual you just painted.
You're welcome. What are your 3 music videos?
Starboy, In Your Eyes, and the Less Than Zero lyric video.
Okay. I don't know the third one. I know the other 2. I'm surprised False Alarm wasn't up there. You like that music video?
Yeah. It reminds me of certain video games or like Hardcore Henry.
First person sort of camera. And it's all a continuous shot, right?
It's made to look that way. I don't think it actually is, but I could be wrong.
They do a really good job of it.
They don't really be blowing dudes' heads off and whatnot. So
yeah. What was the one you said off Starboy? No.
Starboy, In Your Eyes.
In Your Eyes.
Were the other 2?
I like In Your Eyes. What was the other one? Well, now I can't fucking think of any. They're there.
Like Call Out My Name, where he turns into birds and
no,
or bats. Excuse me, I think it's bats.
No, I'm gonna have to think about it.
All right,
but no, solid choices. I want to see the lyric video though.
Okay, it's good. Music makes me feel like I'm having a threesome while on X in a pool at night atop a skyscraper.
That's a lot going on.
That
with
is a
like
lot
the glass
going on.
bottom.
That's a lot of wonderful going on.
Okay, the music makes me feel like I want to participate in naughty activities. So, same. Similar sounding artists. Drake, Childish Gambino, Kendrick Lamar, Post Lamone.
Good old Post Lamone.
He's the Walmart version. As if we could get more Walmart than Post Malone.
That's what you get when you buy a Post Malone album on Wish.
Post Lamone. Post Malone, Lana Del Rey, and Labyrinth.
Post Malone.
Facts about the Weeknd.
Somewhere between Michael Jackson and Post Malone, that's where I would classify the Weeknd's sound, probably.
Some facts about him. He actually toured with Justin Timberlake and Drake. He's definitely anti-Hollywood and boycotts the Grammys and their corrupt organization. His real name, as we have already talked about, is Abel Tesfaye. He has recently starred in the, I think, HBO show with Lily Rose Depp, who is Johnny Depp's daughter. It's called The Idol. People are really liking it. I haven't watched it yet because I haven't paid for an HBO subscription. So I'm plugging a show that I haven't seen, but it's gotten rave reviews. He actually picked the name The Weeknd because that was when he packed up and left his hometown at 17. But like I've said before, he's thinking about changing his name. And for those of you that were Weeknd fans during the pandemic, because nobody could actually go and see live shows because COVID's a motherfucker, he actually hosted a TikTok live interactive concert that fans would vote what happened during the concert. So like I Feel It Coming would come on, and you had 10 seconds to click if you wanted pyrotechnics to go or rain to come down. And I thought it was so cool of a concept because he was still wanting to provide a visual show to his listeners in a safer way. So I thought that was cool. And it even would turn into like cartoons, like an anime style too. And it was just a really cool creative concept that he did for that tour. So I thought it was cool. I participated in it.
Oh, did you?
I did. It was really cool.
You didn't want to plug your, there's a Dawn FM like movie sort of thing, right? Like a movie concert video.
Yes. You watched it too.
Oh yeah, I fucking watched it.
Yeah, it was good. I was a little disappointed because they didn't do the whole album.
Can't think of what it's called, but stellar.
I think it was like wasn't it like the Dawn FM experience or something like that?
It was a lot of fun to watch.
On
I know that.
Prime Video, I think. But yeah, it wasn't the whole album, and I was kind of hoping Jim would show up, But apparently he's busy doing Sonic the Hedgehog.
Can't hate on that.
I mean, I'm not. He's got an awesome mustache in it. You do you, Jim.
To echo the sentiments of my friend Lyndon, The Weeknd is greater than Michael Jackson in terms of listenability. You can almost always turn this dude's music on and not feel compelled to skip around. I also love how wonderfully he captures the complex and powerful feelings of being a sexually active human while not losing sight of the bleeding heart behind it all. His music has been a revelation regarding how much I can consistently relate to a given artist, and I look forward to all the future and past of his discography we've yet to discuss.
Thank you for tuning in to the episode where we stroke Abel Tesfaye's ego.
Sadly, just his ego, right, Raymond?
Just his ego, but, anything could happen. What's going on in our next episode, Shane, our bonus episode?
So the next bonus? It's movies, right? We each picked a movie?
Yes, movies. We each picked a movie.
I picked a movie real quick. Raymond took her sweet-ass time, and then...
The movie you picked, I had to make sure whatever was going against it was worth it.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting listen, so tune in for that in 2 weeks. Did we spoil it?
Yeah.
Okay, so the movies, I won't say who picked what, but...
Okay. You really think that they're not going to know?
Yeah, I could definitely see that.
Both movies are valued by both of us.
Yes.
In a special way.
Yes.
Like, you picked one that I found valuable in addition to mine, and I did the same with you. That's why it was so hard. But anyway, what were they?
The movies are Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind and Sling Blade.
Mm-hmm.
So 2 weeks, tune in for that. The other thing we have for you, in a month, we'll be back for the finale. Follow along if you want to. We'll be covering AFI's Shut Your Mouth and Open Your Eyes from 97. Dream Theater's Distance Over Time from 2019, Lords of Acid's debut album Lust from 91, Lydia's Paint It Golden from 2011, and Our Lady Peace's Healthy and Paranoid Times from 2005. That's going to do it for this one. Hit up our Spotify playlist, visit our merch shop, share our show with your friends, come find us on social media to let us know what you think, subscribe for bonus content, and until next time, fill your world with music.
And remember, listeners, instead of saving your tears for another day, give us a listen. We're always here for you.
I really do like Usher, by the way.
Oh my God. Nobody thinks you don't. I like Usher too. But in comparison. Yeah.
Everyone knows. Thanks for tuning in.